bottom. So we said yesterday, ha'ochel, we're discussing the list of the 18 gezerot that Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel made. We're discussing the list of the 18 gezerot that Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel made. So we have, thank you. Ha'ochel ochel rishon va'ochel ochel sheni is poslim et terumah. If a person eats ochel, which is a rishon, person eats ochel sheni, right? If a person eats ochel, that's a rishon. If a person eats ochel, that's a sheni. That's posel the yadayim. It's posel his hand. It's posel. It makes that he should be posel terumah. Also hashotem mashkim temeim. Says the Gemara. Man Tana, who's the Tana that holds Ha'ochel ochel rishon va'ochel ochel sheni mifsal pasli tmuye lo metameh. Like we said yesterday, the rule is pasul is something that's at the end of the line, right? So when we're saying Ha'ochel ochel rishon and ochel sheni is posel, that means that the person that ate the ochel rishon and the person that ate the ochel sheni becomes a sheni. And therefore, when he touches the terumah is going to be a shelishi, which is pasul. So, mantana ha'ochel ochel rishon va'ochel ochel sheni mifsal pasli temuye lo metamu. It doesn't make him tameh. Amar Rabba bar Hana Rabbi Yoshua. He goes like Rabbi Yoshua. Let's see. The Tanan, we have a mahloket about the details. We have a mahloket about the details of how this tumah works. Rabbi Yoshua, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Ha'ochel ochel rishon ve'ochel ochel sheni sheni. Rabbi Eliezer says the way the Chachamim made the gezerah was, we call it the you are what you eat principle. If you eat ochel, which is a rishon, you eat something tameh, which is a rishon letumah, we consider you to be a rishon letumah, and therefore, if you're going to touch terumah and you're a rishon, you're going to make it a sheni. You're a rishon, you touch terumah, you make it a sheni. Now that means that you're not posel that terumah. You metameh the terumah, because a sheni by terumah could still make a shelishi. So according to Rabbi Eliezer, posel is the caboose, right? It's the end. So according to Rabbi Eliezer, you can't say that ha'ochel ochel rishon is posel terumah. It's not true. That's why we're saying man Tana. Who's the Tana that holds that ha'ochel ochel rishon, someone who eats ochel which is the rishon, is posel terumah? It's not Rabbi Eliezer, it's Rabbi Yoshua. So let's see. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, ha'ochel ochel rishon. If someone eats ochel which is a rishon, he's considered a rishon. Look in Rashi. Ochel ochel rishon na'asa gufo rishon. His whole body becomes a rishon. Umetameh terumah. He'll make the terumah that he touches tameh liot shniyah. The tumah is a sheni. Vehi tahzor v'tifsol shelishi, and that will make a shelishi. Ochel ochel sheni. Rashi says pasul ve'enu metameh. If you eat ochel sheni, you become a sheni. And that will make terumah shelishi. It'll be posel terumah ve'enu metameh. It won't make terumah a sheni, which could go on and be metameh other things. Because again, the rule is tameh is defiled that can make something else tameh. Pasul means it itself is pasul, but it can't carry on. That's why I call it the caboose. Pasul is the caboose. Nothing comes after that. It can't chain anything onto it, right? Ochel shelishi. If somebody eats food which is a shelishi l'tumah, shelishi. He's a shelishi. Again, you are what you eat. Rabbi Yoshua Omer, no. Ha'ochel ochel rishon. If you eat food which is a rishon, ve'ochel sheni, and you eat food which is a sheni, you become a sheni. And the Gemara is going to discuss at length on the next page or so exactly why they hold what they hold. We'll get to that later. Wow. Food could become tameh, sure. All our food is tameh. But Be'ezrat Hashem, when Mashiach will come and we'll have a Beit HaMikdash and we'll have Para Aduma, we'll go back to eating food which is tahor. All korbanot has to be tahor. All terumah has to be tahor. And even l'chatchila, even the hulin that we eat should be tahor. It brings kedusha to a person when he eats holy food. Not Kabbalah water like they sell from the Kabbalah center. That's all nonsense. That's also tameh. But holy food means that it didn't become tameh. There's this Avraham Avinu in Parashat Vayera. It says Lushi va'asiu got, and he never served them. And Rashi says because Sarah became nida, the food became tameh. He wouldn't serve it. Yeah. No. Nothing to do with that. The animal kosher, not kosher, is something else. Now we're talking about you slaughtered you slaughtered a cow, you have a steak. It's tahor. Now a tameh person touches it, it becomes tameh. And nothing to do. You want glak kosher meat, you bought the best Bet Yosef, top of the line. You brought it home, the chadameh touched it, goodbye.
So when you bought the glak kosher, it wasn't tameh then?
No, hopefully not. I mean, ours is, but hopefully not.
So the only thing who constitutes it is somebody touching it?
Someone tameh touching it, correct.
So during the restaurant, Rabbi, touch it.
Right, you're going to have a big, thank God you added that business. What? Glak kosher meat could become tameh. Right, right. All our meat is tameh, Abi. Forget about it. You're not going to get your tameh, your meat is tameh, your house is tameh, your clothes is tameh, everything about you is tameh like is me. Me and you and everybody here and Rav Chaim Kanievsky, we're all tameh, tameh, tameh. As much as we're all kadosh and we're all tahor and we're all tzaddikim and all that, but everything about us is tameh. Our clothes is tameh, our beds are tameh, everything is tameh. You're tahor till you put on your clothes. Which is good because at least there happens to be these differences. The towel. Why do we go to the mikveh? It elevates us. It's not the towel. We have a lot to do over here, but there's a difference. There's a difference of tumah that comes out of your body. It has a stronger hold on you. Tumah that comes out of your body has a stronger hold. It defiles you. So you come out your tahor, and now you get a lighter form of tumah. But neto, you're still tameh, but it's just lighter. You took off the strong stuff. Even when you come out of mikveh, you always tameh met, Abi. You didn't help anything, right? But I got off the tumah of keri. I got off different tumot. I added some kedusha, but halachically, I'm still tameh. Frustrating, but that's the way it is. Let's go. Right? Ha'ochel rishon. Ve'ochel sheni, he becomes a sheni. He himself is a sheni, and he'll make terumah a shalishi. Pasul. That's the Mishnah that we're talking about. Shalishi. If you eat a shalishi, magic. This is the only case. He eats a shalishi, he becomes a sheni. Lekodesh. But magic. I told you. You ate shalishi, you went up. He becomes a sheni, but only lekodesh, and we're going to explain why later. Lekodesh means this guy ate shalishi. He eats. He goes now and he touches terumah. He's fine, but if he touches kodesh, if he touches a korban, he'll be metameh the korban. Right? Shalishi, sheni. He becomes a sheni only lekodesh. Ve'en sheni leterumah. He's not a sheni to terumah. Now, we're talking, the Mishnah tells you, I'm talking about a guy that's eating a shalishi. Now, if the time out. The guy that ate a rishon, he could be eating chulin, which is a rishon. Right? Chulin becomes a rishon? Yes. Chulin becomes a sheni? Yes. Like we said yesterday. Regular chulin food could become a rishon or a sheni. So that's fine. So he ate chulin. It's a mitzvah to eat chulin b'tahara. But if you eat chulin b'tumah, he didn't over an isur. It's possible that he ate chulin, which is a what's it called? But if a person eats ochel, which is a shalishi, hey, the only thing that could be a shalishi is either terumah or kodesh. If terumah is a shalishi, you're not allowed to eat it. If kodesh is a shalishi, you're not allowed to eat it. So how is this guy eating ochel shalishi? What do we even have? What do we have to talk about it for? So the Gemara says we're talking behulin shena'asu al taharat terumah. It's talking about hulin that was made on the level of terumah. What does that mean? That means you have a guy, he decides his house, he's a kohen. He has to eat terumah. So he says, you know something, what? I'm going to have my wife half the time. She has to be double careful because it's terumah. Half the time she could be more mekel because it's chulin. I'm going to make that my whole house, we make believe everything is terumah. So whatever humrot you have to do, if you're a sheni, you don't touch terumah, don't touch the chulin either. I'm going to have my whole house run like that. This way, we don't make a mistake. All of a sudden, my wife, sometimes when she's a sheni, she makes the magedra, all of a sudden it's terumah, she didn't realize, throw it out. Don't get mixed up. So she's making everything chulin, it's chulin, shena'asu al taharat terumah. We're going to make believe it's terumah, we're going to treat it with the same humrot that we treat terumah. Now you would say, okay, Hazal Baruch, but that's a sketch. You want to play games. You want to make believe your house is the Beit HaMikdash. So you tell people, you go into my bedroom, it's the Kodesh Kodashim, Yahayav Mita. Hazal Baruch. That's you want to play games, play games. Now you're going to kill somebody? It's a game. So you're playing games with terumah. So no. Hazal instituted that there is such a thing. And they gave, if you want to treat your chulin like terumah, it's going to have law of terumah. It's actually going to be mekabel tumah midrabanan, and it's going to become tameh. So it actually has a halachic ramification. The fact that you want to play terumah takes effect. If I want to treat it on the level of chulin shenas, I don't know exactly how it happens. What do you have to say? If you treat it like that, it will have the full effect. Look in Rashi. Bechulin shena'asu al taharat teruma. Kelomar be'eze chulin ata motze ochel shelishi. Where do you find chulin that's a shelishi? Bechulin shena'asu al taharat teruma. Chulin that was made on the tahara level of teruma. Te'ilu chulin greida. Plain chulin. Lo mashkaha behu shelishi. You don't find the shelishi. Okay? We'll talk about it. We're gonna.
The person that actually made it, or
No, it applies for everybody. It applies for everybody. Uh-oh. What happened to Bobby? I don't know. Let's see. No, he was in. Yossi came. Complicated. Okay. So the Gemara says, Ochel Rishon. So that's why we said it's like Rabbi Yoshua, because Rabbi Yoshua is posel even by Ochel Shelishi. Ochel Rishon. Ochel Sheni. Mai ta'ama gazru be'rabanan tuma. Why did the Chachamim make a gezerah that it should be tameh? Well, why not leave it on? If the Torah didn't think he should be tameh, why should the Chachamim make the guy tameh? The zimnin, the achilat. Zimnin the achil ochlim temein, veshakil mashkin de truma, veshadi lepumeh, upasil lehu. Maybe you're eating chulin, which is a sheni. No problem. Why? It's not going to make you tameh. You didn't find tahor. You're eating bread which is a sheni. Now you have wine terumah. You're a kohen. You have big barrels of wine. That's terumah. You have a friend you're friendly with Herzog. He gives you his terumah, right? What? Yeah. So now you have the terumah. You're chewing, right? It's not going down. So you take a sip of wine. Now the food in your mouth just made the wine tameh. The wine is terumah. You were chewing bread that was a sheni l'tumah. Now you took a sip of wine. The bread made you what's it called, tameh. So I always thought that the pshat in that is, so now you're drinking wine which is wine of terumah, which is tameh, which is an isur. Rashi says no. The Torah is hira al terumah l'shomra betahara. So you're responsible, a kohen who has terumah. Anyone's responsible to make sure it stays tahor. Like it says, it mishmere terumotai. You have to keep the terumah tahor. So you're going to be mitameh terumah. That's the isur. Whatever, but al kol panim, I'm winding up making terumah tameh and eating it, no good. So that's why they said, if you eat food which is tameh, will make you tameh. Now, if you're going to become tameh from eating the tameh food, you're going to know that I'm not allowed to eat the terumah wine. I won't mix them at the same time. The same thing goes on the opposite. Let's see.
Why do I have to drink the wine to become tummy? When I touch it, doesn't become
Einachinami. You're right. Once I eat the food and I touch the wine, it will become tameh too. But before they made that isur, that your whole body becomes tameh, the problem was, if touching it's not going to be a problem because eating the food doesn't make me tameh yet. But I might actually be tameh by drinking it. Touch the wine. Touch the wine. Touching the bottle won't get through to the what's it called. Now, depending on how serious of a tumah you have, depends if it travels through or not. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depends on the case. There's a lot of details. Sometimes it can. Okay. Hashchichi. As we go through the next couple pages, a lot of the details will come up. If you pay attention, you'll get a lot of rules. Right? Pasilu. Shoteh mashkim temeim. Why did the Chachamim say if you drink drinks which is tameh, you become tameh? My ta'ama gazru berbanan. Dezimnin deshata mashkim temeim. Veshakil ochlin de truma. Veshadi lepumeh. Sometimes you're going to drink mashkim temeim. You're drinking, and as you still have some in your mouth, you'll put some food of teruma into your mouth. The opposite, v'shadi l'pumeh pasilhu. Says the Gemara, Hainu hach. It's the same thing. What do you have to make another gezerah for? Ma'u detayma, I might have thought. Ha shechichi v'ha shchichi. It's much more common that you wash food down. That you wash food down with.
How you can drink it? Not possible. Can you have drink in your mouth and then stick something in your mouth? Or you have drink.
What?
The opposite, yeah. But no. It doesn't work. The opposite, yeah. If you have food and you drink, yeah.
Okay, so that's what Rashi said. That's Rashi's point. Rashi says. My ta'ama gazur be'adama ochel sheyeh tameh. So Rashi, hashchicha. It's shachiach, Jack. She'adam shoteh im achilato. Ve'ha lo shchicha sheyeh ochel im shtiyato. Kamash malan, that happens enough that we made a gezerah. Yeah. Now, once it's in the stomach, it's not. We don't consider it anything. In the mouth, it's still accessible. You can take it out. You can put it back. It's accessible still. Once it goes past here, it's off the charts for us. Even though your mother told you what's the difference if it got mixed up in the plate, it gets mixed up in your stomach. That was just to get you to eat whatever got mixed in your plate. But in the stomach, it's off the chart. If for example, let's say you ate nevela, which is tameh de oraita, right? You ate it so you ate it, you touched it with your teeth, you touched it with your hand, you became tameh. Now you go to the mikveh, it's in your stomach. Could you become tahor? It's touching your stomach. It's not absorbed. 2 minutes ago. If they'll make an x-ray, you could see the steak in your stomach. You're still tahor. Why? It's tumah bilu'ah. It's absorbed in your inside. It's off the chart.
What's the limit? Over here in the mouth? Once you
Beta bili'ah. The point of no return. Okay. Let's see. Kamash malan. New case. V'habar rosho v'rubo b'mayim shuvim. This is a very interesting gezerah. We made a gezerah, right? That if your body goes into, if you go into a bath of mayim shuvim, of drum water, which is pasul for a mikveh, which is all a bath basically. V'abar rosho v'rubo b'mayim shuvim. He is tameh. He's posel teruma. My ta'ama gazru berabanam. Why did the Chachamim make a gezerah? That water comes on me. He's going to make me metameh teruma. What's the problem? Amar Rav Bibi says, Amar Rav Asi, shebitchila hayu tovlim b'meh me'arot mechunasim v'sruchim. This is what everybody thinks our mikvahs are. In the beginning, they used to dip in meh me'arot, in water that was in caves gathered, siruhim, and it wasn't clean. So now you had to dip to become tahor, so you went into there, right? And then after they finished, hayu notnim alehem mayim shuvim, or they would bathe into clean water. They had clean water over there. Hitchilu ve'asaum keva. They started making it like a religion. You have to go into the the way to go to mikveh is you go to mikveh, then you take a shower. You go to mikveh, then you go in the bath. Now you're supposed to go before. I'm buzzing, but before I don't care. You tell me anyways. Whether you have to after. The point was they were saying you have to go afterwards in the mikveh. Gazru aleim tuma. So therefore they said no. If you go in that water, you're going to become tameh. Says the Gemara, my keva. What was so bad that they were making it a part of the mikveh? Amar Abaye, shahayu omrim. They used to say lo elu mitaharim ela elu. So ela elu ve'elu mitaharim. Abaye said they were saying it's not enough to go to the mikveh to become tahor. It's a two-part process. You go to the mikveh and then you go in the water.
But the water to clean themselves from the meshach stuff?
As long as people understood that, that's why they were doing it. The mikveh was all smelly, it was all ichi, and afterwards they were going in the clean water. So Abaye says, you know what happened? They started saying, if you come out of the mikveh, you're not tahor. You're not tahor until you go in the other water first. So therefore, what they were corrupting the Torah. The Torah is not makpid that you go into the other water, right? So because they were misrepresenting the laws of the Torah, they made a gezerah that water is tamim. That's what Abaye seems to be saying. No, going into the second water will make you tamim. The shuvim.
So basically, if we go into a mikvah and then we'll take a shower.
Right. You posel teruma. Correct. But then again, when you put on your clothes, you're going to be worse. So don't worry about it so much. Huh? According to the Arizal, you're not supposed to dry yourself. You're not supposed to take a shower. No, you're supposed to let the water sink in because it's kadosh. No shower. Let the water just dry on your body. According to the Arizal.
Only there's tameh.
We'll see. What? That's what the Arizal recommends.
That's now, even though we're going to put on our clothes afterwards?
The Arizal's clothes, as far as I know, were not more tahor than your clothes.
So if you buy a brand new suit and you want to put the mikvah,
Maybe you touched it. You touched it. The guy in the factory touched it. There's a lot of tumah already on your brand new underwear. Right? Okay, let's go.
so if that's the case, how did the Kohanim
Kohanim were very careful. They put the underwear in the mikvah.
who sewed their clothes?
They did, and then they went to the mikvah.
When their clothes were made,
You could be mitahir clothes at a tameh. You put it in the mikvah.
Buy new suit, put it in the mikveh.
Aywa. Let's go. Polyester is good. It's not mekabel tuma. Let's go. No, it's not. I don't think so. Anyway, I'm not such a big expert. I don't think so. Let's go. So the Gemara says, Amal Rava told him, "My nafkamina ha katavli." As long as they said that it's that you're chayav, that you have to go in the first water, it should be, what's it called? It should be okay. Why did they make a gezerah? So the Gemara says, lo. Rava says, Ela Amar Rava, Shahayu Omrim. They used to say, Lo elu mitaharim, ela elu mitaharim. They started saying it's not the mikveh that makes you tahor. It's the bath. Afterwards. And then what's going to happen? They're going to stop going to the mikveh. They're going to say, what's the difference? I went to the bath. And then they're not going to dip anymore. So therefore, the Chachamim had this. Doesn't make a difference. It wasn't clean. Whatever it wasn't clean. Right? So lo elu mitaharim, ela elu mitaharim. That was what they used to say, and therefore they made a gezerah. So that was they made that gezerah. If you go, this is talking sheba letoch maim shuvim. He goes into water that shuvim means you have a big pail, you have a big tub, and he goes into the maim shuvim. They only made a gezerah on that on the day you came out of the mikveh.
And the Maim Shuvim only there, Maim Shuvim over there.
And that day, that day, when you came out of the mikveh, you went into Maim She'uvim, you immersed yourself in Maim She'uvim, that day it will be posel you. If you waited till the next day, you'll be tahor.
Why you not allow different different place?
Doesn't make a difference. That day they will osir. Now, v'tahor, tahor means even if he didn't go to the mikveh that day. He went to the mikveh last week. Shenaflu al rosho v'rubo shlosha lugim ma'im shuvim. He put on himself and on his body 3 lugim of ma'im shuvim. They will gozer on him anyway, that he should be posel teruma. My ta'ama gazru be'tuma. Why did they make a gezerah on him? The ilohalo kaimeha. If not for being gozer on the guy that the water falls on him, even the other gezerah wouldn't last. Rashi says, because he'll say, what's the difference? What? They will gozer on a week later only on naflu alav, on pouring it on yourself. So anytime you take a shower, you posel teruma. That's what comes out. Yeah. Yeah. It makes the wine. Right, correct.
Wine meaning a liquid, any liquid. If you had water,
Also make it tameh.
also make it tameh.
Right.
So I understand. So water or tabel tuma.
Correct.
So how is it that when
How does the mikveh make you tahor?
no, not that it makes you tahor, but the question is, once you go in, maybe it makes you tahor, but doesn't it make the water tameh now?
No. Water that becomes, it's a very good question. The question is, how come if water could become tameh, how come the person going into the mikveh doesn't make the mikveh tameh? And the answer is that water only becomes tameh when it's not in the ground. But water in the ground doesn't become tameh. A lake, you could go in a lake, it'll never become tameh. It's only in a keli becomes tameh. Only when you have it outside of the ground, you have it in a cup, it becomes tameh. When it's connected to the ground, it doesn't become tameh. Something that's it's complicated. Something that's part of the ground, it's not separated from the ground, is considered. That's why the mikveh. It's connected to the ground. Not for now. Let's go. So we say, v'tahor. That was that. V'sefer mai ta'ama gazru be'rabanan tuma. Why did the Chachamim make a gezerah that a sefer should be metameh teruma, should be posel teruma? Amar of Mesharshia, shebetchila hayu matznim et ochlin de teruma etzel sefer Torah. If a guy had some teruma in his house, he grew some weed in his backyard, and he separated the teruma. He didn't give it to the kohen yet, so he says, where should he put it? He took it, he put it in the bookshelf next to the sefarim. Why? Amri, they said, Hai Kadosh, V'Hai Kodesh. The Terumah is Kodesh Lashem. You have the Sefarim is Kodesh. Let me put the Kedusha with the Kedusha. What happened? Even though the Terumah is Kodesh, the rats still like it. So the rats would come to nibble on the Terumah, and then they would nibble on the Sefarim. And doesn't affect the teruma, the tahara. Rats eating food is a fact of life. Eli over here had some food stores next to his store. No, when it's dead, not when it's alive. He had some food stores next to him. He said that the sizes of the rats you could see in the basement was stuff you would think was because of radioactive waste. It was heck of rats. Right? Anywhere there's food, the rats find their way. Even teruma. So you put the teruma on the bookshelf. Now, the rat smells food. He comes. After he finishes eating the teruma, he goes and he nibbles on the Sefer Bereshit. So therefore, what did the Chachamim say? They said a Sefer is metameh the teruma, is posel the teruma. Now the guy says, this is Kodesh, but if I put it next to the teruma, it's going to become pasul. He puts it on the other side of his house. Social engineering, right? So they made a gezerah that a Sefer is posel teruma. Again, שבתחילה היו מצניעים את אוכלים את התרומה אצל ספר תורה. ואמרו, when they said, Hai Kodesh, V'Hai Kodesh. Kiven dekahazu, when they saw, deka'atu lidei peseda, that the sefarim are getting ruined, gazru be'rabanan tuma. The Chachamim made a gezerah. New case, v'hayadayim. Why the yadayim? We have to move because we have a lot to cover. V'hayadayim mipnei shayadayim askaniotem. They made a gezerah on the hands that they posel teruma. If you didn't wash your hands, it's posel teruma. Why? Yadayim askaniotem. People with their hands, they touch all types of things. Now you're going to come to touch the teruma. People are going to say, earth, he touched it without washing his hands. The guy went here, there, back, forth, up, down. He touched, he did that, he sneezed. Now he touched the terumah. So people are not going to want to eat the terumah. So therefore the Chachamim said, it's a gezerah. You can't, if your hands were not washed and you touch terumah, the terumah is going to become pasul. So therefore,
Technically, it wouldn't transfer
no, technically your hands are not tameh unless your body's tameh. The Chachamim made a gezerah. The hands that aren't washed are tameh. So before a person touches terumah, he's going to wash his hands. Right? Mipnei shayadayim askaniotem. Tana, we have another beraita, not in this beraita. Nu gezerah. Af hayadayim habaot mehamat sefer poslot terumah. If your hands touch the sefer, they posel terumah. Why they make that gezerah? Mishum de Rabbi Parnach. Because of the halacha of Rabbi Parnach. The Amar Rabbi Parnach, Amar Rabbi Yohanan. Ha'ohez sefer Torah arom, nikbar arom. If somebody holds the sefer Torah naked, he doesn't hold it with the talet or with the handkerchief, he'll be buried naked. Says the Gemara. Arom salka daitach. What is this? When the Hivra Kadisha comes, they ask, they call the Baal Koreh. When he got Aliyah, did he hold it with the mitpahat? No. Okay. No tachrichim. We don't do that. Arom salka daitach. El amar bizera. Arum belo mitzvah. Belo mitzvot. He's buried naked. He doesn't have mitzvot. Belo mitzvot salka daitach. He has no mitzvot. The guy made hachnasat orchim. He made Shemirat Shabbat. He made Kiddush for a night because he touched the Sefer Arum. He lost all his mitzvot. Elaima Arum belo ota mitzvah. The mitzvah of either rolling the Sefer
Obviously.
or, according to Tosfot, the mitzvah of Kiryat HaTorah that he did then, he lost.
Doesn't count.
Because you held the Sefer Torah without a mitpahat, you lost it. No, we're buried with shrouds. Yes. Baruch Hashem. Okay. Below ota mitzvah. Says the Gemara, hey Gazur Beresha, which gezerah did they make first? Tam Yadayim or Yadayim Aba'o Mehamat Sefer? Says the Gemara, Ilay Maha Gazur Beresha. If they made the gezerah on Stam Yadayim first, right? Kivan Dehach Gazur Beresha. Hatu Lamali. What do you need a gezerah on Yadayim Aba'o Mehamat Sefer? Anyway, you're going to have to wash them before you touch the terumah. Elahach Gazur Beresha. First they made the gezerah. If your hands touch a sefer, they become tameh. Ve'adar gazur, and then they made the gezerah bekulu yadayim. That all hands are tameh. Tosafot says l'chaora. He says I have a different case. If a guy washed his hands and touched the sefer, that's the chidush that his hands became tameh. Says Tosafot that doesn't happen so often. Okay. V'tvul yom, a person went to the mikveh. He comes out before sunset, before Set HaKochavim. He's considered a Tavul Yom. Not all the Tumah pass. So even if he was a very strong Tumah, even if he was a Zav, he goes to the mikveh and he stays Tameh, residual Tumah until the night. The next night the Tumah leaves and then he eats the Terumah, right? So, but that's a Deoraita. Tavul Yom Deoraitai, Dechtiv Uba, Shemesh V'Taher. It says the sun will set and it'll be Tahor. So what are you telling me that the Gezerot that they made is Tevul Yom? It's not a Gezerah, that's the Oraita. It says Gemara, Sami Mikan Tevul Yom. Take Tevul Yom out of lift. Tevul Yom is from the Torah. V'ha'ochlin shenitme'u b'mashkin, food that became tameh from liquids, b'mashkin demai. Which liquids are we talking about? Ileima b'mashkim haba'im mehamat sheretz. Are we talking about liquids that were touched by a sheretz? Like Avi said before, a rat, if it dies, is tameh. Now you find you have a pail of water, and there was a rat's tail touching the water. That water is now tameh. It's a rishon netumah. The sheretz is an av, right? And assuming he's dead. No, I checked. We did CPR and he's dead, right?
It could be a bug, anything, right?
No. A bug is not sheretz. There's 8 sheratzim that are metameh and plus neviloh. So you have a sheretz touch. Tameh sheretz. Not made. Sheretz. It's different level. Doesn't need paraduma for sheretz, right? V'chol some mashkina ba'im mehamat sheretz deoraita ninhu. That's from the Torah. Dechti v'chol mashke asher yishateh v'chol keli yitma. That liquids that touch a sheretz become tameh, and they can be metameh food. So that's not a gezerah that they made. Ela b'mashkin haba'im mehamat yadayim. They made a gezerah that the sheretz didn't touch it. My hands, we said stam hands are a sheni. You touched mashkin, that mashkin becomes tameh. That mashkin becomes tameh. Even though if your hands are a sheni, they shouldn't make mashkin chulin tameh at all. Because chulin doesn't become a sheni, doesn't become a shalishi. They made a gezerah that mashkin that touch your hands will become a rishon to make food into a sheni. V'mashkim aba'im mehamat yadayim. V'gezerah, they made a gezerah mishku mashkim aba'im mehamat sheretz. They said that mashkim that your hands touch is tameh. Gezerah that if you don't make this tameh, they'll get mixed up with mashkim that touch the sheretz. They moved what? Yes, they're becoming a rishon as opposed to being nothing. First of all, they're becoming tameh and they're moving up a level. Double. What? We're going to see a little bit soon why. It's a good question. It's a good question. Rashi says, Gezerah mishu mashkin haba'im mehamat sheretz de'eshkach behu shem rishonim. We know that if a sheretz touches it, it's a rishon de'oraita. V'had gazur bechol mashkin liot tehila. So they said all mashkin that becomes tameh is going to be a rishon. V'lo gazur nami be'ochlin, that all ochel becomes a rishon. Hainu ta'amad da'ahmura banan b'mashkin. The reason why we're more mahmir by mashkin mishum da'alulim lekabel tum'ah. Mashkim is much more prone to tum'ah than ochlim is. Ochlim, in order to become tameh, let's say Abi he has an apple tree in his backyard, so he picks an apple. Technically, that apple, even if you touch it and your wife touches it and the goy touches it, and you put it on top of the dead body, that apple is still tahor. Why? Fruits are mikabel tumah, but food is not mikabel tumah until water comes on it. We spoke about it yesterday. When you wash it, or if water comes, whatever, but until it gets hechsher. So it's possible for you to eat fruit that's tahor. Just don't wash it, and you'll be okay. Right? If water never came on it, it won't become tameh. It's not Gezerat katuv. That's what it says. It says in the Torah in Parashat Shemini, "V'kol zer asher yavo alav mayim yitma." Water. Yeah.
Must be by shuvim, not rain. Okay.
Explain to me how is it similar to like a paraduma that water could make something tameh?
It's way. This is way above the level of the class now. That's the law. You can look in Parashat Shemini. You'll see it written in the Torah. V'kol zer asher yavo alav mayim yitma. It's there. The reasoning is another story. So now, the reason why they were more mahmir on mashkim, but liquids, there is no hechsher for liquids. You don't have to put liquid on the liquid. The wine, as soon as it comes out, it's tameh. It could become tameh. Or water could become tameh as soon as you take it out of the ground. Since it's one step closer to tum'ah, they were more mahmir on it. Let's continue.
When you have grapes, right? The
Grapes are not necessarily tameh unless water goes on them, after they were picked.
okay, but what happens if you never put water on them, but you crush them?
Then the wine, the liquid that comes out will be machshir them. It's true. Okay. The kol mashke asher yishteh. We're going to talk about that on the next page. Gezerah mebech masheretz. V'akelim shenitmeu b'mashkin. If you have liquids, right, that became tameh, let's say liquids touch the sheretz. That liquid is a rishon. A rishon cannot make a keli tameh. Right? So, but they made a gezerah that liquid could make the keli tameh. Kelim, the kelim b'mashkin, kelim de'itmu b'mashkin de'mai. Which type of mashkin? Ilem b'mashkin de'zav. If you're talking about the liquid that comes out of a zav or a zava or a nida, they have a very strong tumah. Their tumah is so much that if they spit, their spit is a liquid. That spit is an avatuma. It makes a keli tameh. Or could be the urine is an avatuma. It makes a keli tameh. So Ilema b'mashkin dezav. If you're telling me that the keli touches mashkim of a zav, the oraita ninu. That's the oraita. Dechtiv v'chi yaru kazav v'tahor. If the zav spits at a tahor person, and the Gemara makes a derasha, mash biyad tahor tameti lecha. Even what bit tahor is even what the tahor guy is holding. If it went on the cup in his hand, the spit will make it tameh.
So spit will make it tameh.
Yeah, spit of a zav.
What if they breathe on it?
Breathing, no. Spit. Liquid. V'chiyaru kazav. Mashbiyat tahor timeti lecha. So we don't need a gezerah for that. Ela b'mashkim ha'ba'im mehamat sheretz. We're talking about mashkim that got touched by a sheretz. The gezerah, they made a gezerah that mashkim that comes from a sheretz should be mitameh kelim, which it normally can't, because they'll get confused with mashkim that comes from a zav. That's another second gezerah. So now the Gemara asks, we're talking about the Yud Chet Davar, the 18 items, right? The 18 items were decreed by Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel. What's Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel? Bet Shammai is the students of Shammai. Bet Hillel is the students of Hillel. Why are they calling them Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel? Because Hillel and Shammai already passed away. But the students of Shammai and the students of Hillel, they continued. School of thought. They would mamash their Talmidim. The students, they hung out in the same Bet Midrash together. They had similar opinions because they learned from their Rebbe. They had similar thought patterns. So they got together in Hananiah ben Chizkiah ben Garon's attic, and they made these 18 gezerot. So you see that who was the first one to make a gezerah on Yadayim is the students of Shammai and Hillel. Now the Gemara is asking a historical question. V'Yadayim, Talmidei Shammai v'Hillel Gazur. It's only the students of Shammai and Hillel that made the gezerah. Shammai v'Hillel Gazur. It's Shammai and Hillel himself that made the gezerah. The Tanya, like we learned, Yossi ben Yoezer ish Tzeredah. V'Yossi ben Yohanan ish Yerushalayim is before them. Gazru tuma al eretz amim. They made a gezerah that chutz la'aretz is mitameyu. We'll see why later. Ve'al klei zechuchit, they made a gezerah on glass that it should be mekabel tuma, because the Torah doesn't mention that glass is tameh. They made a gezerah. We'll see why. Shimon ben Shetach, the next generation, tiken ketubah li'isha. He instituted the ketubah for a woman. We'll see what he did exactly later. The gazar tuma, he made a gezerah al klei matchot, on metal kelim. The Gemara is going to ask exactly what he did. Shimon ben Shetach didn't institute the ketubah. The ketubah was older than him, but he made a gezerah. He made a gezerah that you can't just designate her. Here's $200 for the ketubah. It has to be that she has a lien on all your properties for the ketubah. We'll see. Okay. Shammai v'Hillel gazur tuma layadayim. They decreed tuma for hands. So you see, the gezerah of the hands was way before. So what are you telling me? It happened in the attic. It happened before the time of Shammai and Hillel. V'chi tema, what are you going to say? Shammai v'si'ato, v'Hillel v'si'ato. And maybe Shammai and Hillel were there with the students in the attic. Wasn't only Bet Shammai. Maybe it was Shammai went with his students and Hillel went with his students, and there was this big mahloka between everybody. What?
They learned from the rabbi. So
1 second. But it doesn't say that they made the Shammai and Hillel means they were there. They signed on the gezerah. Doesn't sound like it. What are you going to say? No, they were up there, but since their students were all there, so they called it Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel. Can't be. V'ha'amar Rav Yehuda said, Amar Shmuel, Yud Het Davar Gazru. They made 18 gezerot, ubi Yud Het Nechlaku, and they argued about all 18, meaning it was divided on party lines. The Bet Shammai school voted yes, all the Bet Hillel school voted no. Now you're telling me that if Shammai was there and Hillel was there, it comes out that Shammai and Hillel argued about these 18 things also, that the students argued on. And v'ilu Hillel v'Shammai lo nechlaku illa b'gimel mekomot. Hillel and Shammai in the whole Torah have only 3 mahlokot. Yeah, Hillel and Shammai themselves, they agree on everything except for 3 things. We're going to see, right? They're all in the beginning of Masechet Nida, Masechet Adayot. What?
all over we see Bet Shammai said like
Bet Shammai, not Hillel and Shammai. The Gemara says the Torah was always one. Until the days of Hillel and Shammai, there was one mahloket about smicha. Then they came, Hillel and Shammai came, and they had 3 machlokot. And then the students of Hillel and Shammai, who weren't able to learn properly because of the Gezerot and the Shemadot, it got very difficult in their time. Na'asa Torah kishte Torot. It became almost like 2 Torot. So we know exactly when it started to be that there were so many machlokot in Am Yisrael. It was time of Hillel and Shammai and their students. That was when it started. Yet we know exactly, we have a list of all the machlokot of Hillel and Shammai, and these 18 is too many. We know it's only 3. Says the Gemara, V'chi tema, so we need a new explanation. Atu inu gazru litlot, v'atu talmidai v'gazru lisrof. Well, the Hillel and Shammai made the gezerah that yadayim should be posel terumah. They said if you touch the terumah, it's really midoraita, it's tahor, right? So you're making something midoraita tahor tameh midrabanan. So now if you're going to burn that, really you're burning terumah that's tahor from the Torah. You're coming to an isur. It's almost like an isur. The Chachamim are telling you to do something asur. So he said, Hillel and Shammai said, you know something? If you touch the terumah, put it on the side. Eventually become tameh d'oraita, then you burn it. Right? Gazru inu litlot. V'atu inu. And then the students came and they said, that's making more problems. Just burn it. Right? V'ha'amar ilfa. Ilfa said, Yadayim tchilat gezeratan lesrefa. The Yadayim, right away when they made the gezerah, they said you should burn it. There was never an in-between stage, so that doesn't work. Ela atu inu gazur velo kiblu minayu. Hillel and Shammai made the gezerah, and it didn't get accepted. It didn't work. People didn't take it. Ve'atu talmidayu, the students came in the next generation. Gazru v'kiblu minayu. They made the gezerah, and they accepted it. Ve'akati shelomo gazar. Hillel and Shammai made the gezerah. Shlomo HaMelech made the gezerah. The Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel. B'sha'ah shetiken Shlomo eruvin v'netilat yadayim. When Shlomo HaMelech made a takana to make eruv and netilat yadayim, yatzta bat kol ve'amra beni im chacham lebecha yismach lebi gam ani chacham beni usmach lebi ve'ashiv ha'chorfi davar. So you see the gezerah of yadayim is way before Hillel and Shammai. It's from the first Beit HaMikdash. Says Gemara, Ata Shlomo gazar lekodashim. Shlomo made a gezerah that the hands are tameh legabe korbanot. V'atu enu gazur af leterumah. And they came and they made the gezerah that terumah also the hands are metameh. So it was for kodashim for hundreds of years. Hillel and Shammai and their students extended it also to terumah. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Yes, Abi.